Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please do take a seat. I really, really want to compliment you as a church on your welcome. The welcome that you've extended to me this morning has been outstanding, from the minute I turned up in the car park to the way that you've served me breakfast. You've just been so welcoming. And the other thing is, Pastor, thank you for your introduction, but I'm not a hero. I'm just the same as you. I'm just telling you my life story this morning. This actually wasn't left on the stage, just appeared a little earlier than it was expected to. I brought this with you. They asked me if I wanted any technical equipment this morning. I said no, I'd bring my own technical equipment. And this is about as technical as it gets. So this is Tickle Me Elmo. You haven't seen... Can we pick him up? Got your mic? He hasn't finished yet. I don't know why he's doing that. Hold on, here we go. Right. You know when things go wrong on you when they shouldn't? I think it's a problem with the Duracells. Anyway, he does rock and roll around, roll over, kicks his legs in the air just like a child. He is the most amazing toy. And if it worked this morning, he would have been a good introduction. I was rung about 3 or 4 weeks ago and asked if I'd come and speak at a men's breakfast. Now, I speak at 2 or 3 men's breakfasts a year. And my PA looked in the diary and said, you're free. So I said, yeah, okay, Brent Cross, not too far away. I only live in Hertfordshire. I'll do that. I forgot to get her to ask how many people would be there. And there's quite a lot of you here. And then they sent me through the programme. And my PA left it on my desk. And she said, Ken Costa, Jonathan Aiken, no pressure. But anyway, it is my privilege to address you this morning. I really want to tell you about my life. I really want to tell you about the impact that Jesus has had on me, the impact that Jesus has had on the way we do business. And I hope that I can leave you encouraged, ready to go back to your place of work to make a difference. But most of all, it's really important that we lift the name of Jesus higher. So my background, well actually, believe it or not, I was sitting in the car park because I thought I was supposed to be here for 8, not 9. And I thought I'll leave early, and it's just as well because I drove halfway around Brent Cross trying to find the venue this morning. And as I was sitting in the car park at 7 o'clock, I realised I'm a local boy. Because I often tell people, well actually I come from Wembley. I was born in Wembley, and for the first 3 years of my life, I lived in Monk's Park, which is, half a mile down the road. I was born in 1958, so I'm 48 on Wednesday next week. Sorry, I'm 49 on Wednesday next week. I'm married. I've been married now for 28 years. I'm sorry about these glasses, but I can tell you guys, when you get to about 46, 47, maybe a bit earlier, these things are on and off all the time. They're a real nuisance. I have 4 children. My oldest son is 25. He's a trained accountant he's a trained accountant. I'm just trying to think who he was with. But he left that London practice last year. No, he's not with Grant Thornton. Anyway, and he's joined us in the business. My next son is 23. He is so like me in every way. In fact, if he was standing here, the only difference between my son and myself is 20 years. Or 25 years. He is so like me. He's the most brilliant buyer. When he left school, he said, I'll go to university, like his older brother. He said, no, I think I'll have a year off first. So I said, okay, that's fine. What are you going to do for a year off? Well, I'll go travelling for 6 months. Okay, that's fine. When he comes back, I said, now what are you going to do for 6 months? He said, well, I'd like to go and work for one of your toy companies, because, my little lad had towed round. He'd been to all the exhibitions with me. He'd been to a lot of suppliers with me. He sat at some fantastic lunches, and he just thought this was the way businesses operate. So I said, well, where are you going to go? He said, well, I'd quite like to go and work for a company in Blackpool called David Housel. So I rang up my friend there and said, would you give my son 6 months work experience? He said, fine, yep, no problem, send him up. So we packed him off, sent him to Blackpool, found a little flat for him to live in for 6 months. But after about 4 months, they rang me and said, would he like to go to Hong Kong for a month and see our buying operation in Hong Kong? I said, thank you very much. They said, no, not thank you very much, you've got to pay, but we'll send him. So off he went to Hong Kong for a month. I remember the phone call on the Sunday morning he arrived. He said, Dad, you wouldn't believe this apartment. It's got electric curtains. And I thought, yeah, you've got no idea what it's just cost me. But anyway, he was there actually in the end for 6 weeks, and he had the most amazing time. So he came back, he said, Dad, I'm not going to university. I said, oh, now what? He said, I actually want to come and join the business. And for those of you guys that have got your own business and got children, it is the most amazing blessing to have your children working with you. So he joined us just over 4 years ago, and I can tell you, he's pretty well as good as I am at everything. My next child, is a daughter. She's 20. She's just finished the first year of her degree. She's